Right. So, good day all. Moving on to Surah 44, right? Surah al-Dukhan, right? Surah 44. Um, and it is entitled Smoke, right? Smoke. The meaning of it is smoke, right? Smoke, as you all know, one, I don't like smoking. I don't like to see people smoking, right? From a moral standpoint, there's nothing really wrong with that. It's that you have to deal with consequences, whether it's health consequences, whether it's whatever the consequences that come with that. If you do not want to take the advice or suggestion from others and gradually seek to um, alleviate that, right? There's one, and then two, there's smoke as in fire, right? Fire as in certain things ablaze, certain people ablaze, right? That's one thing that I am 100% against, as in regardless of what somebody do to you, right? Nobody deserves to be in fire whilst they're alive. Whilst they're alive, nobody deserves to be in fire, right? I mean, an actual literal fire. No one deserves to die like that, right? Um, so that's an issue that I have with the book. On one hand, Allah is supposed to be the one to ease you into death, ease you into a peaceful living of your life. And then on the other hand, it's like driving people to groups and blaze and fire, right? So regardless of what people do, there are other ways to go through difficulties in life, and we will have to go through these things, right? It's called a trial period, meaning consequence period, based on things that we did in the past that was wrong, meaning judgment or consequence, right? And there are other ways that people could go through consequences for the action, as opposed to being burnt as in the actual literal fire, which I do not subscribe to, right? At all, like regardless of what somebody do, right? There are other ways people could face and know consequences of their actions, right? And come to face themselves for the things that they did in the past, right? So that's one, clearing all that out of the way, right? So in the name of Allah, right? There's no God except Allah. There's no deity except Allah. I mean, there's actually no God. I don't like the term there's no deity except Allah, because it turns Allah into a deity, and he's not, right? It makes you think about a deity or an image or a person, right? And Allah is not a deity, an image or a person. So there's no God but Allah, right? He gives life and causes death, right? Allah is your God and the God of your deities, or the God of the people who came before you. Allah is your God and the God of deities, right? The God of forefathers, the God of ancestors, the God of deities, right? So Allah is your God and the God of those who came before you, right? And those who you actually worship, right? Allah is the God of the people who you actually worship, right? So let's just clear that. Watch for the day when the sky will bring a visible smoke. Now, I went through this. I saw this with my own eyes. I experienced this with my own being, soul, body, mind, everything, right? That experience, that visible smoke, right? So I'm just letting people know, validating the things, some of the things that are actually written here, right? Validating some of the things that is actually written here, right? For my judgment, right? Which I went through and I'm going through, right? I would have experienced these things, right? So watch for the day when the sky will bring a visible smoke, right? They will say, remove from us the torment, right? Now, patience is key to get through whatever torment, affliction, whatever it is you are going through, right? Change your way, come back onto the right path. If Allah afflicts you, Allah will remove the affliction, right? Should Allah afflict you, Allah will remove the affliction, right? So when Allah removes the affliction, the important point is to know that not to use the name, refrain from using the name. In fact, do not use the name of Allah just simply to remove your affliction and then go back to your old ways. If it is that clear and pure evidence has come to you that, hey, this is the case, this is the case, this is the case, right? Do not use the name Allah, right, which is the highest name of God in Islam, right? Do not use the name Allah just to remove your affliction and then go back to whatever ways that you used to do before, or whatever means of worship you used to do before, right? Right. Do not be haughty with Allah either, right? Especially if you have come to a clear evidence of something, right? You have come to a clear evidence of something, right? You refrain from being haughty, right? On the whole. Um, and if you are going through a trial period, Allah will show you. He will give you signs. Allah will give you signs that hey, you are in a trial period. You are going through something, and you will see sign. You will see a sign. You will see signs that hey, this is but a trial period. Our trial isn't forever. Like I was saying, there's nothing like eternal judgment, right? There's nothing like eternal judgment. There's nothing like eternal damnation, right? So those who want to believe that, those who want you to believe that you will be stuck in this situation forever, and you are cyclical, and you're going through fire, and just fire will never end, the fire will never end, right? That's a lie, right? It is a lie. It's a misconception, misunderstanding. It is a lie that has kept these religions, certain religions, not religions, but certain misguided people who want to misguide you, right? People who want to misguide you, right, or lead you astray. It is what keeps that system going, right? That system that making you believe that this thing that you are going through, this thing that you will go through, is eternal, right? It's forever, right? It is not the case. You do wrong things, you face a period of consequence, you return to life, right? You do wrong things, and that's just the process how life goes. That's the life hardship. Then you move on, you experience some hardship again because of some friction to do again, and you go on, and that's just life, right? So that whole thing about damnation for till thy kingdom come, right, is not true, is not real, right? Good. Just to remove the scare tactics from some of the things in the book, some of the things in what might be your book, right? Some of the things in what I consider my book right now, right? So removing some of the scare tactics imposed, right, or integrated into these books to make people believe that, scare people into thinking, oh, well, you're going to be in this thing forever, right? You're not, right? I don't even want to be up to 35 years teaching this thing. I don't want to be up to 40 years teaching this, right? I don't want to be up to 40 years teaching this. I don't want to be up to, I might just reach up to 35 years or even less teaching this, right? So you are not going to be in this forever, right? You do something wrong, you pay the price, move on, right? So you were created in truth, right? So whoever to whom this may apply, you were created in truth, right? But the reality is most of you don't know, and that's why we go in search of truth. We go in search of truth without knowing that, hey, you are in fact truth, right? You were created in truth, right? But you might have to search for that in order to come to realize that, hey, you are the truth, right? Right. So do good, right? And do what is required of you and what is asked of you to do, right? Do good, do what is required of you, do what Allah has asked you to do, has commanded you to do, right? And you will not taste death therein except for the first death, right? That first death meaning what? Judgment on earth, right? Judgment on earth, which will go through a trial period, whatever it is, all of that pain, all of that torment, all of that affliction, whatever it is that Allah imposed upon you to go through, right? And that's the death that you will face, a death of yourself on earth, right? And then you what? Is either what you be what resurrected as it's called, right? Resurrected, and you enter into a new phase of life, right? A new phase of life. Or two, Allah takes you back to the final destination, which is death, right? And that death will be a peaceful one, for Allah sweetens death, right? Therefore He allows you to go through that little painful experience on earth, so that your experience when you are leaving this earth now will not be difficult, will be ease, will be not too painful, because you've already been through the pain of that first death here on earth, right? Indeed, Allah has eased the Quran into your heart and to your mouth, your tongue, your lips, so that you may convey the message, right? Allah has what? Eased the message of the Quran onto your lips, your heart, your tongue, right? So that you may convey the message to those who did not previously understand it, interpret it for those who previously didn't understand certain verses, right? So do what you are required to. If you have the knowledge, if you have the book, right, do what is required of you, do the duty. You don't have to do it all your life, right? Help out the people who have been doing it all their life, right? Help the people who have been doing it all their life so that they could get a rest from it, right? Do a duty, right? If you have the book, have the knowledge, right? You don't have to do it forever, right? You just convey the message so that somebody else can benefit from it, right? So, right. So that's the message of today. So we will move on tomorrow to Surah 45. Take care, everybody.